welcome to the business break. Hey Siddharth, are you
Hello,
ready?
hello. Yep, all set.
Let's get started with our first story of the day, which is wait, okay. Wait, I'm not sure if we're live. One sec. Yeah, perfect. We're live. So let's get started with the first story of the day. India unveils guidelines for crypto advertising. I think uh, as a country, although explicitly India has not made crypto legal,
Uh-huh.
by talking about guidelines and taxes along crypto, a lot of crypto investors must be getting excited.
Yep.
And with this, an additional push, guys, look, you got to understand. Of course, you want to fight regulation, and crypto is supposed to be deregulated and all that. Uh, if a government does start regulating an industry, you have to understand that it's legal.
Still a gray area, like I don't know, but yeah, you can say
So,
that it's not illegal at least. You can't say that it's legal, but yeah, you can say that it's they're not planning to make it illegal at least.
right. So, starting off with the first guideline, crypto products and NFTs are unregulated and can be highly risky. There may be no regulatory recourse for any loss from such transactions, which I think is a very, very good disclaimer. This is very similar to how you would have disclaimers of what is that? Cigarettes, Siddharth.
Yep.
The second guideline is the word currency, securities, custodian, and depositories may not be used in advertising of such products and services. And I think that is also something very good. The argument or the reason behind this is they don't want consumers associating these terms with regulated products.
They don't want they don't want currency anywhere near the crypto industry. Like they want to make this clear that the cryptos cannot be used as a currency and they will not accept it as a currency.
Which is a missed opportunity, but it is what it is. The third guideline states that regarding celebrity endorsements, celebrities or prominent personalities who appear in virtual digital assets (VDA) advertisements must take special care to ensure that they have done their due diligence about the statements and claims made in advertisements so as to not mislead the consumers. This is a very vague sentence. I'm not sure if there is a legal recourse which consumers can take against the celebrity, but this will also be a pretty good deterrent for a lot of bad players and bad actors.
Yeah, it's basically to try and avoid scams using celebrities, right? And we don't see it happen in on TV. The TV ads are by legit people
Yep.
because they can only be afford TV ads only can be afforded by people who are big enough.
Yes.
But we see a lot of influencers and celebrities promoting a lot of crypto products on social media which might not necessarily be legit, and
Yep.
the celebrities don't have any idea what they are. They just receive an email saying this is the paid opportunity and we want you to promote this, and they'll just
Right.
do it. So the government wants to make sure the celebrities are cognizant of that, and
Yep.
ensure that there's no promotion of scams, especially through celebrities. So now celebrities will be extra careful before promoting any crypto product. They'll do their own due diligence. They go through what the company is actually doing, whether it's scamming people or it's legit. And I think that's a good step. Like everyone should do that before entering.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Completely agreed. So this is good. What this also does is, I mean, for us, Siddharth, for our business, I think it may open up opportunities to maybe approach some crypto-related podcasts or crypto companies for some of their video marketing and things like that.
Yep.
Because we were first skeptical कि इन लोग के पास करेंगे हमको जेल में तो नहीं डाल देंगे.
Yeah.
But then I think now this opens up opportunity. And what I do know for a fact is crypto and VDA has attracted a lot of money. So there's a lot of money to be spent, and they have a lot more capital to actually market their products and services.
Yep. Yep.
So let's see. Let's see what interesting advertisements come out of this activity. Moving on to our next story. which is India rolls out national strategy to build ecosystem necessary for 3D printing. Okay, I have a lot of thoughts on this, but Siddharth, you want to take this up first before I start talking about this?
So basically, this is a government policy to promote 3D printing and manufacturing, additive manufacturing, using all materials available. Now, why this is important is, firstly, this is a very, very new sector, okay? In terms of 3D printing itself is a very new sector, and the government coming out with an official policy surrounding 3D printing and manufacturing gives firstly the assurance that it is a sector to look out for, and it has a very good potential for the future. And secondly, it tells us that it's not a side project anymore. 3D printing, like 3D printing and 3D manufacturing, can be mainstream also. And that is what this policy actually emphasizes. The fact that the government is coming out with the policies as like this emphasizes that 3D printing can be mainstream. Plus, like, you've run a 3D printing marketplace, right? So before
So
this,
yeah, so what
go
Siddharth
ahead.
said was the news.
Yeah.
So let me break this down for you guys. My first company was actually a 3D printing business. We had built a 3D printing marketplace. We partnered with a lot of 3D printers and manufacturers. We've worked with a lot of product designers, with R&D companies. We've worked with medical companies. We've freaking done projects for DRDO, also small projects.
Mhm.
From a manufacturing standpoint, this particular news, this particular heading, from a core practical manufacturing standpoint,
Mhm.
is just a PR activity.
Okay.
So you'll be like, yeah, but like, why are you saying like this? So we realized within a year of starting the 3D printing business, and we had to diversify and get into other forms of manufacturing,
Mhm.
that 3D printing as a technology,
Right.
even at its best case, has a lot of limitations
Mhm.
where it can never get into mass scale adoption.
Right.
It will always be restricted for special purpose use cases such as
Okay.
R&D, unique components, and things like that.
Okay.
A strategy like this is a pure PR activity because 3D printing gets you a lot of positive points because it's a
Like.
new thing from a manufacturing perspective. But from a practical perspective, this is similar to the IT sector talking about creating carbon batteries.
Right.
You got what I'm trying to say? It's the same thought process. The
So you're saying the
technology,
technology is not scalable yet.
not yet, it is a limitation which will never get solved.
Okay.
For example, you can never have a very high-end lithium battery. It's not
Right.
possible. It will always have limitations. Or you can, the highest efficiency you can ever achieve in solar is like 50-60% max. You just have a limitation with technology. You can't really do anything. A smartphone touchscreen is going to be glass, never plastic or some other material. So 3D printing is such case, and if I have to technically break it down for you, when you get into mass manufacturing use cases, it doesn't make economic sense. It becomes way too expensive, and
Right.
it's not a fact. Machinery which costs 10, 15, dude, you can have a desktop 3D printer today, but running it, operating it, and all gets relatively expensive. That is one part. The second part of the equation, why I know it's not going to work, is physics is against it. So let me explain that to you. The way this basically works is, in a normal component, say you're doing a casting work, what you do is you create a mold and you pour liquid into it,
Right. Right.
and the whole thing becomes a solid piece. Structurally, it is extremely integrated and stable.
Right. Because the mold was designed in such way.
No, because it's a single piece.
Right.
It's not
Okay.
multiple pieces together. By nature, any 3D printing technology you take, you have 3-4 different kinds of 3D printing technology. One which uses heat, one which uses lasers, one which uses light and UV curing. Each one of these technologies, it's by default layer by layer.
Right.
So it's not a single integrated piece.
Okay.
So what happens is, no matter what you do, there's 3 axes in a particular product, right?
Right.
X, Y, Z. The 3D printing is always compromised along the Y axis. The
Right.
structural stability.
Because there are different layers.
Exactly.
Right.
So structurally, there's always going to be significant issue. Now, where I see 3D printing actually have some sort of an impact is maybe in the construction space, because in construction, as of now itself, you have, layer by layer of bricks.
Right.
So, but, and by the way, Siddharth, it's not just structural stability which gets compromised. It's also mechanical and heat stability which gets compromised.
Okay.
So, why am I telling you all this? Whenever I see a 3D printing news, is this: I start my first 3D printing business in 2015, sold it in 2019. Back then, all of us knew this would be the case.
Right.
It has not changed. There's not been anything which has made this better.
So you're
And-
saying the applications are very niche. Right?
It is extremely. So 3D printing is a special purpose machine. It's such a niche machine. If the reason I tell it's PR and optics and it's not really something genuine is, when I'm thinking of manufacturing change from a country like India, from its manufacturing department,
Right.
I am looking at things which will have at least a 3 to 5% impact,
Right.
right? This will not even have 0.0003% impact.
Okay.
But because it has a new technology word in it, it's going to get so much mileage. The common, theme of any Modi government body, I guess. That it's like, मतलब, मैं क्या बोलूँ तेको, like,
No,
इसका
I get it. It's like मतलब आप scale wheel तो भूल ही जाओ. कोई
this
scale
is
नहीं है इसमें.
this is like, no, so this is not impact, boss. This is not creating real impact.
हाँ वही.
It's like, ठीक है, करो, like, इसका simple example देखो देते हो, how special purpose machine, how specialized 3D printing is in terms of impact and all that. The best analogy I have for you is, you have automotive cars, right? Toyota, Maruti, they make lakhs and lakhs of cars. And
Right.
every 5 years or 10 years or so, they'll make one concept car.
Right.
For manufacturing, for manufacturers and manufacturing, 3D printing is that concept car.
Okay. And there are no other applications for 3D printing as well.
So I explained to you why that's not the case, and that will never be the case.
Right. Right.
There's always structural stability compromised along one axis.
Right. Okay.
In buildings, it makes sense because y-axis का load is always falling only down. ऐसे लेफ्ट या राइट में नहीं गिर रहा है, पर लेफ्ट या राइट में वाई एक्सिस पे लोड अगर कोई छोटे कंपोनेंट पे गिर गया तो डूड आई हैव ब्रोकन प्लास्टिक पीसेस in my hand made using a laser centering 3D printing machine. That is like one of the highest end technologies in 3D printing. So it's a concept car for manufacturers. It's good for R&D departments. It's good to show off, but there's so much more which can be done for Indian manufacturing, and all this is just fucking bullshit marketing. And that always, like, I get irritated because I have been a person who's been involved with 3D printing and who could see clearly the issues which manufacturers faced.
Right.
And you hear me say this, right? I can't work with Indian manufacturers. It's not because the Indian manufacturers are fucked up. It's because they are put up in such fucked up situations that they don't have any option. So, yeah, I feel very sad when I read news like this. This is such a small. It's like, ठीक है, कुछ करना था इसीलिए कर रहे हैं. पर I don't know.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Yep.
By the way, before that, like, just to prove it statistically to you, the global, so you know how huge manufacturing is, right?
Mm-hmm.
The global 3D printing market for full services, products, everything is $10 billion.
That's peanuts, dude. That's nothing.
मुंहफली दे रहा है.
Ah,
That's, yeah.
Moving on to our next story, which is Infosys launches Metaverse Foundry, says it has already developed 100 use cases. So, ये मेरे को Infosys के बारे में बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं है, ठीक है. ये इनका बिजनेस है, मैं समझता हूँ,
Mm-hmm.
पर यार अगर 100 यूज केस डेवलप किया है तो एक प्रोडक्ट तो लॉन्च कर देते ना.
ये तो Infosys प्रोडक्ट कंपनी थोड़ी है यार, सर्विस
अरे
कंपनी
भाई,
है
पर
Infosys.
पर नया टेक्नोलॉजी आया, अगर अपॉर्चुनिटी है कुछ करने का तो प्रोडक्ट में थोड़ा तो रिस्क लेना चाहिए ना. क्या बात कर रहा है.
Infosys is the least risk-taking company you'll ever see, dude. What are you saying? Why will they take risks? ये इन लोगों ने लॉन्च किया because firstly I think like you mentioned in the case of
3D printing, optics.
राइट.
ठीक है, a lot of talk around metaverse and all that, so ठीक है, they launch something. It'll give clients on-demand ability to securely and efficiently create their own metaverse environment, deliver signature experiences, and bring advanced artificial intelligence powered data analytics and simulations to realize their evolving aspirations as the internet evolves.
This reads like
Like,
this is
this is
this
just
this reads like I went to an AI generator and I told him give me the most gimmicky headline and this is what came out.
exactly. And plus, whenever I read artificial intelligence, data analytics, and virtual reality, my mind switches off. I'm like, ये कहीं ना कहीं तो ये लोग मतलब पागल बना रहे हैं. They don't have something to talk about, so they put in AI and VR and all of that.
Yep.
But ठीक है, like this is what they're doing. So basically they're giving their clients an option to build their own metaverse world, and they have 100 ready to apply use cases and templates that clients can start working with. And again, they've used the Metaverse Foundry harnesses the power of technologies like augmented reality, virtual reality,
Bro,
blockchain.
don't read this, bro. This is so sad.
Exactly. It's
What
just
the fuck? कौन था प्रेस रिलीज जो लिखा ये? कौन पागल था?
तो ठीक है, मतलब basically Infosys metaverse में घुस रहा है भाई. This is what is the news.
And of course, you
major.
know, there'll be like 2 or 3 flagship projects. एक तो flagship project यहाँ पे इन्होंने डाला है रोलैंड फ्रेंच ओपन का, पर सो इट्स वही लाइक इन्फोसिस का क्या है, कोई पक्का कोई ना कोई प्रोडक्ट कंपनी तो निकलेगा मेटावर्स से, तो उसका अभी प्रोसेस बिल्ड करना स्टार्ट किया है. एक छोटा सा टीम बैठाया होगा, वो बैठ के प्रेस रिलीज किया है. मैं बेट करता हूँ सिद्धार्थ 3 लोग से ज्यादा नहीं होगा इस टीम में. जब भी कोई प्रोजेक्ट आएगा तब 100 लोग बिठा देंगे.
I'm not sure वो टीम भी है अभी. I think they've just released a press release like
Probably, yeah. It's
side
highly
project
unlikely.
बना दिया होगा किसी का.
मैं सिद्धार्थ मैं लेजिट तेको पूछना चाहता हूँ
हाँ.
कि मेटावर्स तेको अपीलिंग लगा है क्या अभी तक?
Heavily appealing. See, the thing is,
रियलिटी वाइज सोच तू
हाँ,
भाई,
reality
तू
wise ही बोल रहा हूँ
वर्चुअल
मैं.
एनवायरनमेंट्स कभी भी तेरे लाइफ में नहीं एक्सपीरियंस किया. मैं किया है, ठीक है. आई हैव प्लेड सो मेनी गेम्स online.
मैं-
World of Warcraft I've played Age of Empires online, I've played so many games online. All of these were metaverses in themselves.
हाँ.
And अभी का जो metaverse vision है Facebook का, it is this.
Dude, it's obviously going to evolve. It's not going to be stuck at this. And why
Who?
I'm so convinced about it is, it might not be appealing to me and you, but the coming generation is growing up on games, right? You played a few games here and there.
No, I consider myself like a hardcore gamer, boss. I'm talking about 2, 3, 4 hours a day level of gaming, okay? I don't think
हाँ,
so.
ठीक है. So that's what I'm saying. The coming generation has grown up on gaming. Like they've been playing games since they were kids. So they will naturally adapt to the metaverse. and they will live on the metaverse. And because see, it's science और philosophy जब मतलब interact करता है ना, तो एक statement मेरे को बहुत मस्त लगता है कि individuals take the path of least resistance, right?
Okay.
So the metaverse enables that path for each and every individual to build a work life without leaving home. With so they can work in the metaverse, they can be social in the metaverse, and that is what the generation is, the future generation. There are a bunch of introverts who want to sit at home and interact with others socially, but on virtual social worlds. और जब सब कुछ पॉसिबल है वहां पे, तो why would people get out? I'm insanely bullish on the metaverse, and there's
I
no other
believe
way.
it requires significant hardware innovation, and I know for a fact that the company which it's coming from is not going to be Facebook. I
Yeah, of
think
course,
it
dude.
may be
Like,
Microsoft. I think it is Apple. But till I see a physical product which can let me access the metaverse seamlessly without making it uncomfortable for me, I am very bearish on the metaverse. Till I see, so one example
so
of this
you're betting that the entire human generation will not be able to come up with one device to
for
make
the
it
next
seamless?
15 years, 20 years, yes.
No, dude, it's gonna come in the next 5 years.
The reason I'm so confident about that is two physics related issues. First is power, which is battery consumption, and next is heat. So let me give you an example of that. Even if someone is able to design a lens which just goes into your eyes and you don't have to wear anything and you can access the metaverse, the graphic power output needed to run a metaverse as well as it's supposed to run. I'm not talking about realistic, I'm talking about good 3D experience which I can get when I play Xbox today, right? The graphic processing units no longer obey Murphy's law. They have not exponentially grown for the last 3-4 years. They're only growing very slowly.
Marginally, yeah.
Their power consumption, the graphical output per watt has not improved. Okay, so they consume a lot of power, and carbon batteries are at least 15-20 years away. You right now are stuck with lithium batteries, which have significant limitations.
Right.
So even if someone is able to design the interface, to power that interface, you need to be tethered to a computer or a big device. A big device for me, a smartphone is also a big device if you think about it. I can't fucking do this, dude. Like,
Yeah.
so that is why I believe at least it's 15-20 years away. That's my theory. I mean, I may be wrong. But
It may be. I'm not disagreeing with that. It may be 20 years away, but it is going to come, is what I'm saying. Like, there's no two ways about it. It might be 20, 25 years away, or it might be just 10 years away. I don't know. But it is the future that I strongly believe that.
okay, fair enough. Let's see what the future holds. But yeah, Infosys is now in the metaverse game. If you're a company looking for metaverse developers, well, you can call India's largest developer. Moving on to our next story. This is WazirX just being a smart company. WazirX, to assist developers to build their crypto exchange, will release APIs. Now, why would they want to do that? Why would they want their own competitors? This is just WazirX realizing that it's better to be the shovel seller than to be the gold mine in a gold rush.
So
Right,
their
so
first
that-
business, their exchange was also picks and shovels only, right?
Yep,
It
yep. But
facilitated
this is-
trade.
This
But
is getting even more.
taking-
Yeah.
Like, this is, how do I say this? This is 10xing your own shovels, if I may. Like, they are giving out their own playbook for entrepreneurs to build,
Right.
and they're very smartly pivoting into a crypto SaaS platform. Where
Exactly.
they have executed the playbook perfectly, how
Yep.
to build a trading exchange. They
Yep.
have 300 trading pairs. Now they've built APIs around it. They have seen insane amount of traffic, insane amount of shutdowns, and they've learned from that.
Yep.
their APIs have been edited after these shutdowns,
Yep.
updated after these shutdowns. Now they have a good enough product, which is the API, and
Yep.
they're gonna sell it now to entrepreneurs,
Yep.
which is the perfect pivot in my opinion.
I would also say this is just more proof, if that's the right word, of why you need to be extremely wary if you're planning a crypto company, because this just tells you, that even the biggest of the players are not completely fully invested in this.
Right.
And I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying be wary, understand it. Getting into crypto itself is a monumentous task. Once you get into it, I would say take the conservative approach. What do you think, Siddharth?
Yeah, and also, I have certain differences over here,
Okay.
because I think these guys like the crypto industry on a whole is built on you know uh, in increased transparency,
Okay.
and not just increased, absolute transparency, right? And that is also the reason the guy who invented Bitcoin did invent Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted no middlemen, right? No, nothing hidden from him and his customer or whatever. So I
Right.
think taking that principle forward, if WazirX is leading the way in terms of figuring out the trading mechanism and then releasing their APIs so that other entrepreneurs can develop products on that trading algorithm. Because see, trading is figured out, है ना? WazirX के साथ साथ बहुत सारे trading exchanges है who have figured out trading.
Okay.
Now the next step is to figure out different financial products out of crypto, not just trading. We see that in DeFi, we see that in staking, right? So it is very essential for someone like WazirX, who is a leader, to release their APIs, which they've done, so that additional products can be built on top of that. And whoever is trying to do that does not have to start from scratch. Now, that is how radical transparency and product innovation works, right? If like even Elon Musk made most of his patents public because he
Dude, I don't think that's a fair comparison. I think the right comparison here is Amazon opening up AWS. My problem with what WazirX has done is I felt it was forced instead of natural, in the sense that I felt they started realizing कि क्रिप्टो में प्योर ट्रेडिंग और ये सब करके स्टेबल पैसा बनाना मुश्किल है.
huh, they'll monetize their assets however they can, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So I think they've smartly done that, but it also serves that purpose of taking the industry forward. And I think that I'm not saying they had the intention when they set off trying to make the APIs public, but that is one thing that they will be doing. Because now imagine somebody wants to build a futures and options platform for crypto. They have a ready-made trading API with 300 pairs or of currency exchange, so they don't need to build that anymore. They just have to build the futures and
Plug in the
options.
API. Yeah.
Yeah, they plug in the API, then they have to build on top of that. So it becomes so much easier for the industry to go forward basically. So that way I think it's an exceptional move for the industry as well.
Interesting. Let's see what happens with this. Definitely interesting news from WazirX. I also feel that they wanted to, save on the compliance costs, because it'll be a little bit more distributed. Regulating APIs is a lot easier, I feel.
Yep.
And yeah, let's see how it goes. Our last story. So Siddharth, this is quite interesting. It took some time to get this report out, but it's out. Okay. YouTube, Tinder, and 8 other smartphone app, which were the most money-making smartphone apps.
This is of 2020.
2021,
right?
of course,
Okay.
yeah. So let's go through the list, shall we?
Let's
Starting
go.
off, the top money maker which I think a lot of you wouldn't have expected. When Google used to give Gmail for free and Drive for free, I'm sure you were wondering कि ये पैसा कैसे कमा रहा है. ऐसा कमा रहा है. The top earning mobile app of 2021, Siddharth, was Google One.
What does Google One even do? I don't know.
So when you run out of storage, Siddharth, on your Gmail account,
Oh, that doesn't apply to me because I'm a pure Android user since the beginning. So I've been getting Google
free
storage for
storage.
free. Yeah.
Okay. So for people who run out of storage, you have to buy, storage from Google. We, Siddharth, pay a bill of almost $5,000 a month for this.
Yep.
We have like a 5 TB plan, and I can see why it's made so much money, and I don't see it going anywhere. I see my father, my older customers, they just end up like Google shows them it's only 100 rupees per month for 1 TB, take it off, and they just buy it because it pops up that notification like 100 times. It gives warning. साला क्या चूतिया है पता है Google क्या करता है पता है? It'll tell कि your emails will stop coming if you don't buy. They'll have almost 2-3 GB left. And पापा लोग सब they're like अरे email बहुत जरूरी है चाहिए. ऐसे कैसे बंद कर देंगे अभी ले. So
Nice. Smart boy.
So Google One is number 1. Next is the Disney Plus.
Oh,
Now-
dude, this has been an insane transformation, no? Disney Plus.
No, so this was long time coming. So Disney is a conservative media business, Siddharth. They were waiting, they're just waiting and watching how this plays out and how you're supposed to do it. The moment they understood it, they went all in. Star
Yeah.
Wars, Marvel, all their franchises accessible. And India में Disney Plus Hotstar के through accessible है, इसलिए हमको कुछ पता नहीं चला है, but amazing library, bhai. Nat Geo, everything comes
Yeah,
into
yeah,
Disney Plus, and it's
totally
like a no.
agreed.
Or the platform is simple as hell, like एकदम
मक्खन कैसे चलता है?
वही. So
Plus, like, even if there are parallel streams, right, of 2-3 crore people also,
कुछ भी
there
नहीं
is
होता.
no glitch. Hotstar hosts IPL.
Yeah. So
So पूरा देश देखता है.
next, YouTube. So this was a surprise, but again, not so much of a surprise. Specifically, it made a big chunk of money through YouTube Premium, Siddharth.
Yeah. And
So
that was a
YouTube
long
Premium-
time coming, dude.
Like YouTube Premium worth it है भाई. मैं statistically तुमको बोल सकता हूँ कि कितना टाइम सेव होता है पता है. एड्स आता ही नहीं है मेरे को. And worth it है. I pay $200 a month for 6 licenses of YouTube Premium. घर पे सबके फोन पे डाल दिया है मैंने. तो ad I have told them कि ad देखो ही मत.
I didn't know it is shareable to 6 people also. I
So
thought
the base plan is $129 for individual, but if you take family plan, it's $199, and you can have 6 people in your family.
oh, okay.
Dude, and I'll tell you the crazy part. This is what makes YouTube Music like the best value option, and why I'm sure a lot of people buy it and it's making so much money. YouTube Music is free if you take YouTube Premium.
Oh,
Dude, and it has a larger library than Spotify, Siddharth.
yeah, of course. I think that is why people take the YouTube Premium more than the ads wala part.
Yeah, absolutely. And it has every damn song, dude. Like songs
Everything,
which have come in Coke Studio, you can play through it, and it's amazing. Moving
Killing
on. Next, this must be a North American specific app, which a lot of its people get. But HBO released HBO Max, which was their, of course, their subscription. Now, this really speaks a lot to you, Siddharth, in the sense that first one, ठीक है, it is more of a utility. Second, third, fourth is just media.
Entertainment.
Yeah. So HBO Max, I can see why this would happen. I mean, obviously because of the pandemic and all, people wanted more and more content. Netflix was not enough. So they've taken this up. HBO Max, I have not accessed HBO Max. Again, with Disney, with Hotstar in India, you actually get access to a lot of HBO shows.
Yep.
That has been like a very nice thing. But yeah, Any thoughts on HBO Max, Siddharth?
No, I have no idea, man.
So I'll tell you why HBO Max was a bit significant, because it had some of the most iconic shows. The one which you
Friends
said.
and all, Seinfeld.
No. HBO has been responsible for iconic shows like Game of Thrones.
Oh, right.
The one which you told me about. What was that?
Succession.
Succession. Yeah.
I see
So-
Rick and Morty here.
Yeah. So these were all HBO originals.
Okay.
So yeah, moving on. Tinder.
Not at all surprising given the pandemic.
I really want to know how many people have Tinder premium subscription. Siddharth, do you have Tinder premium?
I don't have Tinder also, dude.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so this was something which was pretty good. This just talks to you about, I don't know, I'd have thought that Zoom would have come here over Tinder, but Zoom is lower in the list. I guess I count myself in the fortunate few. I didn't have to rely on Tinder to find my partner, but yeah.
Yeah. But
Let's
yeah,
see.
man, like, makes sense.
Makes sense. Moving on. This was a very big surprise. I didn't know people used to listen to Pandora, but it's very popular in the Europe and US. It's an alternative to Spotify, Siddharth.
Is this a global list?
Yes,
Of
it's a
apps?
global list, all
Okay.
across the globe. Yeah.
Okay.
Pandora is just a music streaming service. Twitch. Now this is amazing. I hope parents don't stop their kids from playing games, because Twitch, if anything, shows you that you can make a huge career just playing fucking games. So Twitch specifically allows you to buy subscriptions to your favorite creator. You know, you can support them for like $1, a couple of dollars, things like
Right.
that. And many people buy it, and of course Twitch is owned by Amazon, so they make a huge chunk of money from there.
Right.
Moving on, ESPN Sports again makes sense. And what ESPN has done with its content for a very long time has always kept it behind a paywall. They have
Okay.
some amazing programming for articles, for videos, but you can't access any of it unless you pay them. And they're very expensive, Siddharth. They cost almost $70 a month.
Whoa. And people still pay.
So there's some sport fans who are crazy about ESPN.
Yeah. It's religion more than anything, I think.
Yeah.
ESPN over there.
So moving on, after Tinder, Bumble was also very popular.
This is in the 9th spot, is it?
Yeah, this is in the 9th spot.
Okay.
And
Bumble
finally Hulu.
again
So
streaming.
exactly.
So we saw like 3 streaming apps and
Yeah.
2 dating apps.
No, so we saw all streaming apps and 2 dating apps, and only one utility app,
Huh.
which is Google One. So very interesting list. Talks to you about, you know, what can actually make you money. Why MX Player, for example, in India is valued so much. It's a media platform. It's for free right now, but the moment he enables monetization, he's going to rope in a huge amount of money.
Yep.
And
They
yeah,
have a short videos platform also, right? MX Takatak or something.
yeah. So MX is going to be a pretty big media play, Siddharth. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure who's the team behind it, but they've been at it for quite some time.
Yep.
So this was the list. Any thoughts on the list, Siddharth?
Not at all surprising that
Yeah.
people are so bored because can't help it, dude. You're sitting at home, you want a partner and you want to Netflix and chill. So that's what people are looking for.
So you may be wondering why Netflix and Spotify has not come on this list. So this is the new editions. This is not existing subscriptions. So
Oh,
to
okay.
keep that in mind. So this
Okay.
list tracked the new editions. So
Right.
that's about it for today's show, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. This was an interesting show. See you all tomorrow. Bye, guys. Bye, Siddharth.